In the midst of commemorating a significant day in our nation's history, we find ourselves reflecting on the cherished principles of freedom and democracy that define America. President Biden has recently warned us that the sanctity of our democracy is at risk if we fail to defend it. Over the past 2 years, this warning has been underscored by the legal actions taken by Special Counsel Jack Smith and Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. These indictments have laid bare a meticulously planned criminal conspiracy to overturn the 2020 presidential election, revealing that this endeavor was not a spur-of-the-moment idea. Rather, it involved a multitude of individuals and intricate steps. Willis, who brought charges against 18 individuals, including the former president, described the activities in Georgia as a criminal enterprise. While both indictments were replete with accounts of how the ex-president and his allies sought to undermine our democracy. As noted by voting rights attorney Mark Elias, even after reviewing these indictments, it is evident that something essential is still missing from the narrative. There is a crucial aspect of the attempted coup that has been somewhat overlooked. This missing piece revolves around Trump's audacious attempt to involve the United States Supreme Court in an endeavor to invalidate the election results in 4 pivotal battleground states. Trump referred to this case as the Big One, and if successful, it would have disenfranchised over 20 million voters in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, altering the course of the election. This aspect may have faded somewhat from memory but was initially initiated by the Attorney General of Texas, subsequently gaining support from 17 other states and more than 100 sitting Republican members of Congress. However, the Supreme Court, despite its conservative majority, ultimately dismissed the case, asserting that the state of Texas had no standing to bring it forward. Elias emphasizes that aside from the events of January 6, the Texas case represents one of the most profoundly anti-democratic acts in the post-election period. It involved the use of state resources and official endorsements to perpetuate false information and subvert the electoral process. This case served as a precursor to subsequent efforts, including fake elector schemes and Jeffrey Clark's endeavor to exploit government resources in an attempt to overturn Georgia's election results. Elias concludes that while the indictments may not have included the Texas lawsuit, they still offer a comprehensive narrative. Nevertheless, we must not overlook the significance of this overlooked chapter, especially as the 2024 campaign season draws nearer. It is crucial that we remember the full extent of what was envisioned during the coup, as well as the comprehensive array of anti-democratic forces that Trump sought to mobilize to subvert the will of the American people. Mark Elias, a voting rights attorney and the founder of the Democracy Docket website, joins the discussion to shed light on these critical aspects of the attempted coup. Also, Princeton University professor and distinguished political scholar Eddie Glad and former assistant U.S. attorney and president of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, Maya Wiley, provide their insights into this matter. Elias underscores the centrality of the effort to overturn the election results in 4 states, a scheme that involved the use of state resources and official support, setting it apart from other legal challenges. This lawsuit served as the initial organizing effort for what would ultimately culminate in the tragic events of January 6. Elias emphasizes that the participation of 126 Republican members of Congress in this lawsuit highlighted the gravity of the situation, indicating the broad support within the official Republican Party for these efforts. He points to an email from Tom Fitton, a right-wing legal activist, which pushed the timeline of contesting the election's legitimacy back to July 2020. Another critical aspect that Elias addresses is the question of premeditation. Trump's remarks in September about the urgency of appointing a 9th Supreme Court justice before the election further underscored his intent to challenge the election results through legal means. Elias suggests that Trump's persistent focus on questioning election outcomes stems from his desire to maintain flexibility and institutional support, regardless of the election's outcome. In conclusion, the attempt to overturn the 2020 election involved a multifaceted and premeditated effort, including the Texas lawsuit and subsequent actions that utilized state resources and official endorsements. Recognizing the full scope of these endeavors is crucial as we approach future election cycles and strive to safeguard the democratic principles upon which our nation was founded.